Hello. I see y'all tagging along again today. I didn't hear y'all come in. Well, it is absolutely beautiful weather outside this morning, but it's cold. It's finally turned back cold. It actually feels like winter again outside. So, while things are warming up just a little bit outside, I thought I'd come out here and try to get a head start on getting this corn seed shelled. This is my corn that I'll be replanting, and this will just be used as seed. And then whatever don't get used to plant will probably be cornmeal. It's something that I've been working on for the last several days, is getting this building right here cleaned up. And part of that process is getting this corn out of here. Yeah, I said cleaned up. Definitely not clean right now, is it? Well, this is the building that 2 years ago, I think it's been 2 years now, y'all watched us clean up. And well, I've done a good job at dirtying it back up and filling it full of stuff. And I feel like I'm very good at that. But my seed corn has been taking up room over here. I need to get that out of here. And I just about messed up, y'all. Look at this. I've had a mouse or a rat or something being here chewing on it. Now, obviously, all of that's still good, except for those kernels right there. But I have a few right here that they just pretty much destroyed that whole ear. Same here. So when I seen that yesterday as I was in here cleaning up, I was like, well, this right here needs to be number one on my list today. Get the rest of this shelled so nothing else can eat on it. And this is like the only place on our farm here that the cats can't get to. So I guess this is sort of a safe haven for mice or rats, which honestly, I've never seen a mouse in here, but I have seen evidence of a mouse. So yeah, this is like a safe haven for them. They don't have to worry about anything getting them in here, and I guess it's probably not the best place to be storing seeds. When I shell seed corn, I always get the center section here, and then the ends will go to the chickens or somewhere. And the reason for that is that the ends would still sprout and grow corn. It's just that they're not a consistent size, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult going through the planter. These shellers like this right here work great for shelling seed corn because you don't really have to worry about them cracking the kernel. You know, the ones that you spin like this, and I'm not saying they will, but there's a greater chance of them cracking the kernel open. And then, you know, with a cracked kernel, at that point, it's no good to plant. So I guess I'm going to sit out here for a little while, shell some corn, and we'll catch back up with y'all in a little bit, because with this pretty weather, I think we got us a pretty busy day planned. Well, right there's what'll be saved for seed. Bring it out here into the light. Look at those colors. That's so pretty. And that right there is probably more than enough, actually way more than enough seed to plant what I need to plant this year. Because for those of y'all new around here, this is my land race that I am working on. And it all started with Jimmy Red, Hickory King, and then I added Lancaster Sure Crop and Trucker's Favorite Yellow Corn to it. So I've got a pretty good variety of colors in this corn now. That multicolored corn come out of the same patch, but started originally with just two varieties, Jimmy Red and Hickory King. That's all just fun and games, experiment type stuff. And I'm honestly, this coming up year, not going to plant as much as I did last year for the simple fact that I've got other corn that I want to plant. And I'm just going to plant enough of this just to keep it going. This corn here we do use for grits, cornmeal, everything of that nature. But when you're using corn for grits and cornmeal, you don't need a lot of it. This bucket full right here I shelled the other day, and that is for nothing but cornmeal. And whatever's left out of this right here that's still good will be cornmeal as well. However, the damage was quite a bit worse on this stuff than I thought. Like that one, that's ruined, except for this side right here. But you pretty much call that ear ruined. And there's a lot of that in there. Now this year, I'll be planting more of the Boone County white corn, which y'all saw us pick. And that'll be mainly for animal feed and stuff like that. However, we are going to grind some of that for some cornmeal too eventually. We just hadn't done it yet. But I've got all of that stored out under shelters here, still in the trailers we picked it in. And the animals have not messed with it not one time. And you would think squirrels or something would come up here and try to eat on it. I haven't had nothing, but I blame it all on those right there. Look at that. That's one of my loads of corn there, and then I've got another one down here under the other barn. And I really think, not only do those cats keep out mice and rats, I honestly think they keep the squirrels away from right here around the house too, because I never see a squirrel up here. You have to get out into the woods way out there to see a squirrel. I never see squirrels running in these trees right here. And I think it's all because of the cats. The next thing I need to do is get the saw out, sharpen it. Some point today, I'm gonna cut up a couple of firewood logs, get those ready to split, because I do have a couple of loads of firewood sold that I don't even have busted yet. So yeah, I am running a little bit behind on that, but we're gonna work on that some point today. First, I need to make sure this saw's sharp. A couple years ago, Meagan got me this thing right here for Christmas. It works perfect to keep all your chainsaw stuff in. I got my files in here, different tools. So anytime I go to the woods or the log pile, I just take that with me and I got everything I need. It needed touching up worse than I thought. Let's show y'all this real quick. I got everything you could think of in here. There's carburetor adjusting tools, all of my wedges. You know, the wedges for fallen trees. I got some more wedges here, smaller ones. In here, I have the bar grease gun, one of these ratchet and scrunches, all kinds of stuff, extra chains. Those you drive down into a stump and it's like a vise to hold your chainsaw still while you're sharpening. There's scrunches in here. All the tools you could ever need to take a saw apart. Then that's where my files are rolled up at, is in here. Then in here, these are actually parts for my weed eater, put the saw blade on. Same here. I got extra parts for the weed eaters in there. But yes, something like that is very handy to have. Just so you can keep up with all your stuff. And you can just throw it in the side by side or the truck or the tractor or whatever, and it's there ready for you. Alright, we got both saws ready to go. I usually don't like to go cut wood or anything with just one saw because you never know, something may happen to it or you may pinch it. So I always take two saws to the woods. I guess we'll go up there and cut here after a while. Me and Jacob's got some work we need to do first though. So Jacob has been working on that old Ford lawnmower he's got. I know you probably hadn't seen it in many videos from last summer, but summer before that, that's what he used to use to mow the yard. And we had a lot of trouble with it because the thing would always flood out every time you go to start it. Well, he's took interest in it again. We've been peddling with it, and we finally determined that we had to pull the carburetor off of it. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up, and this is the carburetor here. But I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and then I've got a carburetor bath that I'm gonna soak it in, and we're just gonna let that sit in there overnight. But anyways, this was one more thing that I wanted to get done today.
Will it have to sit in there overnight?
It'll sit there overnight. I mean, it can sit there for 2 or 3 days. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I'm just spraying it down with some brake cleaner to get most of the loose stuff off the outside, and then we'll have to take it apart in order to get it. In order to put it in that, we'll have to take it apart, take the bowl off, and a bunch of other stuff. But what that does is it'll soak in that, and that should clean up all the little holes and everything. Get everything nice and clean.
I thought when you spray the brake cleaner on it, it's supposed to just like clean it off by itself.
Well, it does, but this is some thick, nasty oil caked on there. That's years and years and years of gunk. We ain't gonna get it all off. The rest, that right there will take the rest off.
There's probably just like a thin layer on the outside that's from me. And then the rest of it was from the other guy.
So go find me I think that's a 9/16. I'll go ahead and get this open.
Is it gonna open? It looks like it's just bending.
Do what?
It's bending up. Never mind. I said, is it gonna open or is it just bending? But it looked like it was bending, but it was actually coming off. Have you used it?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a little, it ain't in there.
What?
It's supposed to be a little basket that goes in there.
Looks old, so that's might be why it's not in there.
No, right here it is.
No. Is it dirty?
Yeah, I gotta clean it.
Then you just put the carburetor in there, and then you just let it sit in there, and then we're done. For like...
No, we gotta take it apart.
Oh.
Yeah, see that sits down in there like that. And that gives you a handle to pull all your parts back out of it.
So first, we're gonna take this off when we can get that back out.
So we take the bowl off first.
Let's see if there's any gunk in that. Uh-oh.
Leave that in there.
Is that the float?
That's actually not that bad,
It's
Jacob.
clean.
But now that right there's gunked up. Look at
Yeah, holy cow.
man, at some point, this carburetor must have been full of stuff. That right there is slap up with rust.
Are we gonna have, what are we gonna do with that? What do we gotta do about
That's
that?
fine. But I can't believe how bad that's eat up. I imagine your problem for your flooding issue is what I'm getting ready to show you here. We pull that pin out. That holds the float in. That's your float. Then right here, you have a needle that goes up in that valve right there and cuts the gas off.
Is that kind of like on the other lawnmower, the little thing that shoves up?
Yeah, sort of. But that right there cuts the gas off, and so what's probably happened is that little seal right there is now dry rotted or wore out.
So do we have to get a new one?
We will. We'll get a new.
Will we be able to find one?
Oh yeah, you can buy rebuild kits for these. Go get me a smaller flathead screwdriver that'll fit up in that hole. If you want to take that with you to try it, we'll pull that jet out. So we screw out this main jet. The new kit should come with one of these.
Okay.
Let's see. We should probably pull out that screw.
Will it come with a new float?
Yeah, it should. I think I'm going to leave that one. Yeah, let's pull it out so the cleaner can get down in it. Because the new kit's probably going to come with one of these too. I think that's an idle jet.
Why are we cleaning it if the new kit comes with one?
We want the body clean.
Oh.
And just in case the kit don't come with one, we'll have it.
Okay.
One of these is air fuel mixture screw, and the other one is an idle jet, I think.
Will this fix the choke? How bad that choke is?
No, that's in that cable.
Okay.
All right, that's ready to put in there.
And now we're done.
So all that'll sit down in there just like that.
And just let it sit in there for a few days while we look online for a kit.
Yeah, kit won't be hard at all to find. So that'll sit now in that bucket. We'll put it over on the shelf. That'll sit in that bucket for at a minimum of 24 hours, but it'll probably be more like 2-3 days. It'll sit in there and just clean and soak. We'll find us a kit and we'll be rebuilding it. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all, so it's about lunchtime, and I am going to throw together some French toast for lunch. And I know that's normally a thing you eat for breakfast, but Andy has been after me to show y'all how I make French toast. And if you never eat French toast, it's wonderful, and it's so easy, so easy. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and use some Texas toast. I grew up eating it on regular loaf bread. If I ain't got this, then I'll use regular loaf bread. I can use my homemade bread. I ain't got none right now. I've been slacking in that area of life. All right, so the recipe I'm going to show you we'll make about 6 pieces of this Texas toast bread. If you're using regular loaf bread, it ain't gonna soak up as much as these little thick pieces. So it'll make about 8 to 10 of those. But the thing I like to start with first is we're going to go ahead and just have them out while we get all of our stuff mixed together and let them, they'll dry out just ever so slightly. You get a better end product if you do that. I've got my big measuring cup here. Now this measuring cup, I got this as a wedding gift. I think it's like Pampered Chef, yeah. And it's scratched all to pieces, but it's an 8-cup measuring cup. And I use this thing for everything. And I know y'all have seen it throughout my videos. But if you don't have a giant measuring cup like this, it makes life so much easier because it seconds as a bowl. So we're going to start off with 3/4 cup of milk. And that's about a cup, but it's fine. We're going to put 3 eggs in there. And we're going to get this all whisked up. But yeah, Andy, he said, why don't you just fix us some of that for lunch? So I can show it, because I can't hardly function well enough in the morning to cook breakfast and run a video camera. So we want this mixture to be pretty smooth. I'll beat it up pretty good here. Honestly, it's very forgiving. I mean, it's pretty much toast or bread that's soaked in the egg mixture. I mean, so it ain't got to be perfect. To that, we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar, a nice little sprinkle of salt, vanilla, I like a lot of cinnamon in mine. A lot of cinnamon and a little nutmeg. Get all that combined. I'm going to go ahead and be heating up my griddle over here. I'm going to get me out some butter. We're going to butter this real good. I like to try to mix it in between, like after it sits, because all that cinnamon wants to come to the top. We're going to take our bread and we're going to give it a good dunk quickly so it don't start falling apart. There we go. We're going to quickly do it like that right there. Don't leave it in there but just a second though, because your bread will get all soggy and try to fall apart. Alright, after they've cooked for a couple of minutes, I'm going to check the other side and we're going to see what they look like, see if they're ready to be flipped. And then we're going to flip that. See how it's kind of browned there? That should be good and done. So I like to take it and put the hot side up, and I'll show you why in just a second. We're going to do it just like that. Let that piece go just a hair longer. And I like to take just a little powdered sugar, just a little. Give them a little sprinkle. Now, nobody ever said these were good for you. But they are delicious, and it is a nice treat for breakfast or lunch, either one. Or supper, for that matter. Alright. But I always flip the hottest side back up because it kind of starts to dissolve that powdered sugar a little bit. Then we'll just do it all over again. Now see, after this has been sitting, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that cinnamon all kind of floats to the top, so give it a good stir, a good dip. And see, I have just exactly enough mixture for 6 pieces of Texas toast with no waste, hardly. Now these will all be served with some syrup, and that's all it is to it.
So I've come up here to where we grew the popcorn and had the potatoes there last year. I've got a pretty good sized pile of logs laying here for firewood. Mostly, let's see, I think we got some maples. We got wild cherry. That's more maple. These are all red oak here. They've been laying here since last year. So this is what I'm gonna start sawing up first for firewood. Now I also have this right here, which is pecan. That'll be wood that we just burn here for ourselves. Well, really, down at Daddy's shop. We don't burn wood at our house. So that will get burnt down at Daddy's shop. But most of this right here will be sold because all 3 of those make some extremely good firewood. And so for the firewood I sell, I like to have good firewood to sell. Because you know, a happy customer is a repeat customer. Anyways, this is what I'm going to saw first. I do have some up at the house that's already cut too. And I've got some trees over here on the back side that need to be cut up. This is the easiest to get to, and it's been laying here the longest. So that's what's going to get sawed first. Brought my cant hook with me too, so I can roll some of them logs around since I don't have a tractor with me. I'll tell you something else that I have found works great. I just don't have it up here. I'll probably, before this pile is cut up, bring it up here. But having that excavator and picking those logs up and holding them up in the air and just sawing off, that is a total game changer for cutting up firewood. However, I would have had to hook the trailer up, loaded the excavator up, and bring it up here. And I don't intend on staying up here the rest of the evening cutting firewood either. So I just thought I'd come up here and cut up what I can cut up and see where I get with that. I feel like I cheat a little bit. I got this little thing right here that'll mount on your bar. It's a magnet, and it keeps your firewood cut at the same lengths. Like I said, I feel like that's cheating somewhat. A lot of people will turn and use their bar to keep them the same lengths. But this wood that I sell, I try my best to keep it all cut as consistent as possible so that whenever they stack it, it'll stack nice and neat. And I must say, my French toast lunch was absolutely delicious. Had French toast and then scrambled 2 eggs to go with them. The big ones cut up except for that one. I'm gonna cut that one next, and then these right here, I'll be able to move them around and manage them by hand once I start cutting that. These I probably won't cut up today. I think I'll wait and bring the excavator up here to help out with those. That's a 24-inch bar. It barely goes through it. So I didn't really cut long. I cut up maybe 30, 40 minutes worth here. But that's going to give us a good start when we come up here and go to busting. And when I come up here and start busting this wood, what I'm going to do is park my dump truck right beside the log splitter, and we'll toss it on the dump truck as we go. I'll have the whole crowd with me on that day, which hopefully will be this week sometime, because I really need to get this wood to this lady. And if somebody's wondering, using the Husqvarna 572 XP, then my backup saw that I had was my 365 Husqvarna. I've had both of these saws, well, this one here, the biggest one, the newest one, I've had probably 3 years now, maybe, yeah, 3 years. That other one, that 365, I've had it since I was a teenager. That's been a great saw. But I absolutely love that 572. That is a beast. So, next thing that I need to get done this evening is one of those honeydew projects. I made a coat hanger yesterday for Meagan, and I got to make another one today. She liked it so good she wants another one. So anyways, that's what we're going to go home and do now.
So this is the one from yesterday. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I don't know if the camera does it justice for how pretty it is, but he sanded it down so all this is real smooth.
Yeah, and that was just made out of a piece of rough cut. I think that was chestnut oak.
Oh, was it?
I think.
And it's just a pretty color.
Yeah, let me show you.
Just a weathered look.
Well, it's something that was so simple, looks so pretty. And those hooks came off of Amazon. I found them on Amazon.
Well, I've been needing a couple of, well, I needed a coat hanger. I had one several years ago and it broke, and well, I just never replaced it. And I've been after Andy that I was going to buy one and hang it up, and he said, no, you're not. And there we go. That worked out pretty good.
It did. So she liked it so good yesterday. She said, she approached me this morning. No.
It was last night. I was like, do you think one will fit here too at the front door?
This is the piece of wood it was made out of, and see how gray and everything it is right now? I did look, Megan. I noticed that the piece of bark is coming off of this, so I'm gonna take and drill me a hole in it and run a screw through it to tighten it up. What?
Look what I made.
What'd you make that with?
I've been making it. I made it with a stick, and I did like this.
You've been whittling wood.
Really?
And I made it. And I'm trying to make a knife.
Well,
But it's gonna be like a toy knife to cut my mud pie.
that's cool.
That is cool.
What'd you whittle it with?
My pocket knife.
Did you? That's cool.
That is cool. It looks good. We've made a few projects whittling wood
Yeah.
just through time. That's usually what we do when we get super bored. So I guess it come in handy.
That's right. He learned something, didn't he?
I can't wait to hang it up though and actually see what it looks like. I love stuff like this though. This right here is better than a $50 one you'd go find at some nice furniture store somewhere. This is, I don't know, everybody probably don't feel that way, but this is meaningful.
Well, I'm gonna
To
be honest
me.
with you. On camera, it don't pick up as pretty as it really is in real life.
I wondered about that. It'll work good. Them some heavy duty hooks.
Oh yeah.
Heavy duty piece of wood.
Well, I guess I better get to making the next one.
All right.
So the one I made yesterday is 36 inches, and it looks like that 36 inches is gonna fit perfect at the front door too. So this one's gonna be exactly like the one I made yesterday. Next, I'm gonna try to fix this piece of bark. Hopefully this works. Perfect. You can't even hardly see that screw there. If I can remember right, yesterday I trimmed 4 inches off. As I was getting these hooks out here, I never even realized, but I was reading the box and it says thank you for supporting a small business, and it's called myfancyfarmhouse.com with a note underneath the lid there. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that when I ordered the hooks. 5 hooks end up going across here right nice. I will measure those and get them spaced evenly. And I'm sure somebody's probably cringing watching me sand with a circle grinder with a flap disc on it. But it works great on this hard oak. And in all honesty, I kind of like it because it leaves a swirl in it that sort of makes it look like it was cut on a circle mill instead of a band mill like mine. Right there's what happens when you use a Phillips head. Can't stand a Phillips head. I go find one to replace this other one, and I just about messed that one up. Star head, in my opinion, is a much better screw. So yes, that sticks out like a sore thumb. But I had the same thing happen yesterday, and we just took a black paint marker and painted over it. That's why I pre-drilled the holes this time, thinking that those screws would go in there a whole lot easier and I wouldn't round the head out, but it still happened. So I guess pre-drilling them didn't really benefit me any. Well, can't get quite down in that screw hole, but it looks a lot better than it did. And one last thing, the screws are just a touch too long, so we're gonna grind them off. Well, down with the barn quilt. Uh-oh, we got some dust.
I figured it'd be some hiding back there somewhere. It'll stick to that.
How high do you want it?
Your coats will be the longest.
Okay.
The only thing is the kids can't reach it up there, but I can. So, oh, that's gonna be nice. Look at that.
Yep, I like that.
I mean, I think that'll be fine, don't you?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You got it?
Maybe.
I'm gonna pre-drill me some holes. That looks really good.
It does. It was a good idea.
Ain't you glad I told you not to buy one?
Yeah, I am.
Well, now we got one more to hang.
I know, I'm proud of you for making me one.
Well, maybe since I'm here more, I'll actually do more of those things you want me to do.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm gonna start writing it down.
I might start mowing yards again. So I ain't
I'll
got
just make you a list. Oh, I've been waiting on this.
And there's the other one.
Yep. I'm tickled over that. That looks really good in this little nook too.
It's perfect.
It's gonna be cute with a Tammy Jacob's hat back there. Look how cute it is.
Ain't it beautiful?
I love it. It's perfect.
Perfect. Well, I tell you what, it has turned out to be rather nice out here this
Yeah.
evening.
I'm glad the sun's shining and the wind's not blowing too bad.
So, I guess that's going to about wrap it up for this video. I think I'm going to, get started feeding, and what bit of daylight we got left, I'm going to use out here in the building and keep on cleaning up out there.
Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.